welcome to another Practice Profit Report. And we're going to segue straight off of last week when we were talking about the past. We're talking about numbers and overhead and profit and losses and all these historical things that tell you what happened. And now we're going to move forward to the future, which is where I like to live and play. And as I always say, most people, their futures are about improving their past, which of course sounds silly saying it out loud because it's impossible. Instead of making their futures about creating their future, making it better than ever before, not held back or limited by preconceived ideas or past conditions or happenings. And so today, welcome to the most important thing I've ever said to you, maybe in our whole lives together, okay? And that is very simply this. You must write your goals on paper. I know it sounds so weird and so odd in the world of phones and AI and digital everything. There is nothing that will ever be more valuable to you than putting things down on paper, okay? And what a strange topic for a profit report video. However, this is why so many people stay stuck. It's why so many people are on the treadmill of life, running very hard and getting nowhere. And that is because not enough time and intentionality is put in manifestation and clarity of the objectives we have. Now, it is perhaps the most fundamental personal development, self-help, think and grow rich, a rule of all time. From the beginning of ages, right? You write it down. If you've ever read a single book, listened to any podcast, or gone to any type of seminar for your life and your mind, you will know that every person is very consistent about one thing. And that is what you put in your head the most often is what is most probably going to come true. And so today I challenge everyone, you, doctor, just like you wouldn't start a procedure without, we call it the consent, or a treatment plan before you take the money and execute, right? Such as your life. Obviously, I'm biased because I built it, but my blueprint planning process is the greatest doctor experience on the planet Earth, where the entire approach is building a pathway to the future. It is about designing the dreams, creating a life engagement where life is not organized around the practice, but the practice is organized around your life. We build a blueprint. We build a plan. That's what we're here to do. Hey, if you haven't got yours from me, what in the hell are you waiting for? You're literally living a life at, half throttle, a fraction of the potential that you have, all because by writing brings clarity. With clarity, you have a plan. With certainty, not with indecision and doubt. No guesswork is needed. When the plan is built and it's put on paper. So today I want to simply say to you this. It's not enough to think it. You got to. That's the beginning. But you got to document it. And you really have to map it out. And you got to take the pen to the paper. And I will just tell you why. A couple things. It's so easy to make everything about reflection and about looking in the rearview mirror. There's a reason why that rearview mirror is a tiny little 1/100th of the size of the windshield. Life is lived out there, not back there. And it's really easy for a person to get caught up in complaints and problems and trying to fix the past instead of dreaming and the permission to aspire and to look out ahead. If you're going to be a creator, you got to write it out. And there's no invention, there's no technology, there's nothing that wasn't first documented and drawn out. And this is also why in the morning huddles, in your team environment, This is also why we want the whiteboard. We want the biggest cases that we're working on that are in the pipeline on the whiteboard. We want the top priorities of every team member on the whiteboard. We want the numbers and the goals. We want most of all where we're going to source the cash and the health opportunity. We want it on the whiteboard. This is why it's not good enough to have it in software and spreadsheets. This is why taking your patient through a process that's all digital, okay, it feels very unemotional. This is why you got to print the pictures. Okay, you got to make things big and evident. Okay, you got to get the patient to, you don't do the exam from back here. You do the exam down in here. Okay, it's all about the senses. It has to be. It has to be visceral. And there's nothing more important to being visceral than the goals of your life. So today I challenge you, put it on paper. And remember this, if you write it, you remember it. Okay? Goals must be, okay, laid out very specifically with an implementation plan. So here's the process. It's very simple. We're going to write the goals, okay? And once you have a desired goal, right, follow the flow. Once you have a desired goal, that's the future. Desired goal, okay? And it can be anything. It can be your health. It can be your wealth. It can be your relationships. It can be anything. Go back to the 7 habits and you have all the categories. Desired goal. Okay, we now set the intention. We focus on manifestation. I'm a big manifester. All of my wealth group family members, what we do in our very first wealth kickoff and our orientation is we all go to work on getting rid of the self-sabotage, removing the obstacles and the inhibitions, and we go to work on manifestation. The law of attraction, wealth, attraction, money, manifestation, all by desired goal and intention. Manifestation in action is creating clarity, okay, without seeing any obstacles whatsoever and believing as if it's already happened. Desired goal, as if it's already happened. And then getting crystal clarity. What would life be like? How would you think and feel? Okay, how would this impact your daily flow? Everything. This is where I go to my philosophy of state of ideal. When you go through your blueprint planning process and you create a lifestyle practice, love it so much you never want to leave it, but you can if you choose. Okay, you focus on state of ideal. Once you have clarity, okay, it's much easier to believe. Now, there are things that we can do to help you believe, very easily to do. But the critical aspect is to not just appeal to the emotional side, which is, hey, it's why you're here. Okay, we get you fired up every time. But it's to appeal to the logical side by reverse engineering. So we can take any desired goal, and we can reverse engineer. We can reverse engineer the math. We can reverse engineer the mindset. Okay? We can reverse engineer the feelings. We can reverse engineer the facts. Okay? What do we need? What do we not need? What's in the way? Okay, how do we speed it up and accelerate it? How do we need to think and who do we need to become? And then obviously, does it make sense here? Most importantly, once you understand the aspects of the desired goal to manifestation, clarity, and belief, we can reverse engineer, okay, the actions and the behaviors. That's what we do. Once all of this is in place, then we get to my favorite part, okay, which we write right here in the middle, which is called the battle plan. The battle plan is the thing that makes it real. Okay? It's not just a checklist or to-do list. Okay? It is the path of progress. It is the thing that we're going to fixate on and execute without distractions. Most people have tunnel vision in their life. They don't see certain things and they limit themselves. We're talking about blow away all the limitations, create a plan on paper with desired goal, with all the ways you need to think and feel, and then we reverse engineer backwards the actual battle plan. Then we are laser focused, tunnel vision on executing that battle plan. That's what it is, and that's what brings it to life. All of this, it must be written down. It's not enough to think it. It's not enough to shove it into some kind of fancy software. It's not enough to throw questions out to Claude or ChatGPT. No! Because if you want to see this come to fruition, then listen to me carefully. If you write it, you remember it. When you write it, it becomes reality. Write equals reality. Not even type, not even talk. No AI is going to bring it to your life. Right? No intelligence other than my favorite called authentic intelligence, and that would be your own, is going to make this thing manifest into reality. So, I got a special new plaque. I like to add things to my office that I believe in the environment is the key. It says, that which you think becomes your world. That what you think becomes your world. But here's the thing. If you want that world to become your reality, then you must take it from your thoughts in your mind onto paper, because paper equals manifestation. And writing it equals realizing it. And that, I promise you, that's a success principle that will never fail you. So today, let's shoot out into the future. And let's say by January, where would you like to be? Write it down. Okay? By next quarter, by next month, by the end of this week. And then most importantly, I want to go back to a few weeks ago where we talked about the perfect day. I want everything to be about state of ideal. Where you are, where you desire to be, and then let's build a bridge. And remember, this is what we do with our team members' goals. This is what we do with our patients' health. By golly, you are the hierarchy, the pinnacle, the 1%, 0.01%, peak of the pyramid, king of the kingdom or queen. Okay? And this is the most critical thing that you must do. In fact, I would say there's nothing that is more apt to make your dreams your destiny than to document and to write the good old-fashioned way. Hey, can't wait to see what you bring me. And more importantly, if you like an architect, right, I can paint the masterpiece, the commissioned artist. Hey, I can build your dreams for you with our lifestyle practice blueprints. Okay? And most importantly, vision, strategy, life into reality by writing and documenting. That's what it is. What you think about becomes your world. And what you write about becomes your reality. Let's go do it.